There are many interesting facts about this world that most people don't know. For example, did you know that there is a country where men can marry multiple women at the same time? And in another country, a woman can only marry one man in her lifetime. Also, did you know that a man in Switzerland proposed to marry 89 women on the same day, but he was turned down by all of them? If you want to know more interesting facts like these, then subscribe to our channel. But today we will share with you the story of the famous fast food restaurant McDonald's. You probably already know how this popular fast food chain began its journey from a small diner to an international brand. In just over 50 years, it has become the world's leading restaurant chain. In terms of revenue, according to Forbes magazine, McDonald's is ranked second among the top 10 private companies in the United States based on annual sales. In addition, according to Forbes, McDonald's ranks 66th in the list of the largest companies in the world. This is even higher than Apple and Microsoft. There are thousands of McDonald's restaurants around the world that prepare and sell millions of hamburgers every day. According to statistics, the chain serves about 69 million customers daily. These figures indicate that McDonald's is one of the most successful business stories in history. However, few people know the history of the company as founder and how his life changed after selling the business. So let's take a look at this amazing story, the history of McDonald's. The history of McDonald's dates back to 1940 when two brothers named Richard and Maurice McDonald opened a barbecue restaurant in San Bernardino, California. The restaurant had a limited menu featuring hamburgers for 15 cents, fries for 10 cents, and shakes for 20 cents. Their business wasn't very successful. They started serving breakfast in 1948, which helped boost their profits. At this point, they needed a new name for their restaurant. Richard's daughter, who was 8 years old at the time, suggested the name McDonald's. In 1953, a businessman named Ray Kroc became interested in the speedy service system implemented by the McDonald brothers. He offered them $270,000 for the rights to use their system and the McDonald's name. However, they refused. Kroc continued to persuade the brothers, and in 1961, they finally agreed to sell him their business for $2.7 million. Soon after, Kroc opened the first McDonald's restaurant outside of California in Illinois. A year later, he opened several restaurants, including the first drive-through location. In 1968, Kroc introduced the now famous Golden Arches logo. Throughout the 1970s, McDonald's continued to expand, opening international locations and introducing new menu items such as the Egg McMuffin in 1971 and the Chicken McNugget in 1978. By 1980, there were over 2,500 McDonald's restaurants worldwide, generating $1 billion in revenue. The following decades saw continued growth for McDonald's, becoming one of the most recognizable and successful fast food chains globally. How did the owner of McDonald's lose his fortune? After selling McDonald's, Ray Kroc spent his remaining days promoting the McDonald's brand through various media appearances and events. He was featured in numerous magazines and newspapers, including a profile in the New York Times in 1975. Kroc was also involved in several television specials and documentaries. One notable appearance was on the popular talk show The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. During his time on the show, Kroc discussed his business philosophy and the success of McDonald's. Additionally, he appeared on other talk shows such as The Mike Douglas Show and The Merv Griffin Show. Kroc's commitment to promoting McDonald's continued throughout his life, and he remained a passionate advocate for the brand until his death in 1984. Despite being one of the most successful businessmen, Ray Kroc was not immune to making bad decisions. In fact, he made one significant mistake that ultimately led to the loss of his fortune. When Kroc decided to sell his shares in McDonald's, he chose not to exercise his stock options worth $1.8 million. At the time, he believed that he had done the right thing by letting go of his shares and moving on to other ventures. However, he later realized that he had made a big mistake. Since then, his shares in McDonald's have grown significantly, and his decision not to exercise the options has cost him dearly. If he had held on to those shares, his net worth would have been much higher. Despite this setback, Kroc went on to lead a successful life, and he passed away in 1984 at the age of 51, leaving behind a legacy of entrepreneurship and innovation. Ray Kroc, the man who built the McDonald's empire, had an estimated net worth of over $600 million at the time of his death. However, unlike many other billionaires, he never flaunted his wealth. Instead, he lived a modest life that belied his immense fortune. Kroc's simple lifestyle was in stark contrast to the glitz and glamour associated with the fast food industry. He was often seen driving an ordinary car and did not own a personal jet. Despite his wealth, Kroc was known for his frugality and was even reported to have negotiated the price of a pen to advertise McDonald's. He was so dedicated to his work that he did untake vacations and instead spent his free time working in his office. Even his wife once remarked that she couldn't remember the last time he'd taken a holiday. Kroc's dedication to his work was unwavering, and he was often seen working late into the night. He believed that hard work and dedication were the keys to success, and he expected the same from his employees. Despite his demanding nature, Kroc was known for his generosity and was said to have given away millions of dollars to charity. Overall, Kroc's life was a testament to the idea that one does and need to live a lavish lifestyle to be successful. He was a man who valued hard work, dedication, and giving back, and he lived his life according to those values. When Ray Kroc passed away in 1984, he left behind a complex legacy. While he is widely credited with turning McDonald's into a global phenomenon, his methods and business practices have also been heavily criticized. Some argue that Kroc's focus on efficiency and standardization led to a decline in the quality of McDonald's food. Others criticize his management style, which was often characterized as autocratic and demanding. However, it's important to note that Kroc's impact on McDonald's was not solely responsible for these changes. The company has evolved significantly over the years, and many of its current practices are the result of decisions made by subsequent CEOs and the board of directors. Additionally, the fast food industry as a whole has faced scrutiny in recent years due to concerns over health and labor issues. These broader trends have also affected McDonald's, and it would be unfair to blame Kroc for all of the company's shortcomings. Despite these criticisms, Kroc's contributions to McDonald's cannot be denied. He transformed the company from a small regional chain into a global powerhouse, setting the stage for its continued growth and success. Whether one views him as a brilliant businessman or a ruthless corporate raider, there is no doubt that Ray Kroc was a major force in shaping McDonald's and the fast food industry as a whole. We hope you enjoyed the story of McDonald's and the mystery surrounding its founder, Ray Kroc. If you want to hear more fascinating stories about the history of famous companies, then please stay tuned for our next video. We're always looking for new and interesting topics to cover, and we love bringing you the stories behind the brands you know and love. Thanks for watching.